Welcome to the Posture Strength and Mobility Podcast. I'm Isaac Osborne, and I'm here to share with you tips, tricks, hacks, interesting musings, and much more in short, digestible episodes. To learn more about how you can improve your posture strength and mobility, check out the show notes for links. Onward with the show. Episode 5, Can Lower Leg Stiffness Cause Knee Pain? In this episode, I'm going to break down the most common issues with the lower leg that contribute to knee pain or dysfunctional movement. I have 2 exercises that I'll be giving you that can help change these dysfunctional patterns and free up your knees. Number 1 most common dysfunction of the lower leg is to have an external rotation of the lower leg that is not involved with the femur. And what I mean by that is that the external rotation has exceeded how much, if the femur is externally rotated, it's further than the femur. So you'll see this by example when, say, people are running or when they're walking and their foot turns out. You'll see if someone's running and you'll see their foot turning out to one side and one foot's going straight ahead. That type of rotation in the lower leg in what the bone that's called the tibia. You have the tibia on the inside, that's your main bone that the femur sits on top, the upper leg bone. And then you also have a fibula, which is kind of like the outrigger of the lower leg. So when you have that external rotation, it torques the knee. So basically it puts this twist in the knee. So each time the knee is bent, then you're getting a torque and a twist into the knee. And then that's putting strain on the meniscus, the inside cartilage of the knee, the ligamentation on the outside of the knee and the inside of the knee. Most of the muscles that contribute to this type of stiffness are the lower leg muscle, the gastroc muscle, and the soleus muscle. These are your big calf muscles. And then also the hamstrings, and the hamstrings come down and cross the lower leg, and they can contribute to the twist in the lower leg. How do you know if you're somebody that their lower leg is turning out in this fashion? Well, you can take inventory of yourself by looking at the bottom of your shoes and how much even wear or uneven wear, I should say, of your shoes that you have. You can walk on the beach if you're by a beach or walk in dirt and look at your tracks to see which foot is turning out. And the foot that's turning out is the foot that is more dysfunctional. However, that doesn't mean you may have a foot that turns out and not have knee pain in it, and there might be knee pain in the other foot. In those type of cases, what's happening is you're compensating by overloading the other leg. So it's an overuse issue on the other leg. And if the knee that's hurting is with the foot that's turning out, then more than likely it's a torque issue in the lower leg. So this torque issue is typically caused by hamstrings, it's caused by the lower calf muscle, the gastroc, and the soleus. And there is other muscles on the front and side of the lower leg and deep underneath those other muscles that contribute to this. Because when the lower leg turns out, depending on what your alignment is, you can have either a flat foot or over an arch foot just from that rotation. It gets really complicated when we bring that arch in. That's why I'm not going to go over a lot of detail on that at this particular time. However, this torque in the lower leg can twist the knee in a way that is causing a lot of strain on the knee and the ligamentation and the cartilage. So that's the basics of how your lower leg can contribute to knee pain, is having a lot of tightness in the gastroc and the soleus so that it causes a twist in the lower leg, and that twist is independent of the femur to some degree. Now, it's pretty simple, straightforward what this is, and it's pretty simple, straightforward in a way to treat it. And I'm going to give you a couple exercises here to go over and try to play with, to try to open up the leg and see if you can get relief from your knee pain. For this first exercise, we're going to be stretching the calf muscle. We get a little bit of hamstring on this, but not much. However, our main focus here is getting the calf muscle to lengthen as much as we can, because the calf muscle crosses the knee. And if one side of the head of that calf muscle is really tight, we need to release that and open it up. So you need a wall. So go ahead and put your hands on the wall you're about 2 feet from the wall. Then what you can do is you bend your knees. In this case, I'm placing my left foot on the wall. I'm placing the left ball of my foot on the wall, and my knee is still bent. I'm going to stand up to where I'm straightening my right leg. Now, my left leg is straight, just the ball of the foot is on the wall. My heel is probably about 5 inches off the wall, maybe 4 inches off the wall. This is going to get an intense stretch on that calf muscle. Go ahead and tighten up the thigh, your quad muscles. Tighten up the thigh and hold this position for about 1 minute. Then, once you completed that 1 minute, then what you're going to do is you bend that knee, come out of it, then switch legs and go on to the other side and do the same thing. Now, you'll feel a pretty intense stretch on the calf if you're doing it right. If you're not doing it correctly, go ahead and bend that left, in this case, my left knee now, my right ball of the foot is on the wall, and I straighten up. I brought my heel closer to the wall, and that yields in a much greater stretch on that calf muscle. Again, hold for 1 minute, and you can do this multiple times a day to help lengthen those calf muscles so that it frees up that rotation and twist in the joint that is causing a lot of the knee issue. This next exercise is an exercise where we're going to try to decrease the rotation in the lower leg. So what you're going to need is an exercise band. If you don't have an exercise band, you could potentially use a belt and tie a belt around your ankles. So if you don't have one of these exercise bands, I have them for sale on my website. You can check it out, motionunlimited.net. Go to the shop and you'll see these exercise bands there. These are these short exercise bands. I'm using a color red on this, and I'm going to place this around my ankles. So it's going around my ankles, and then I'm going onto my hands and knees. And while I'm on my hands and knees, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate, basically pigeon toe my feet and my toes, and pressing the front of the ankle into the ground. Now, I'm going to release one side, and my ankle comes off the ground and my heel travels towards the other heel. Meanwhile, my other heel is still on the ground. So my left heel is still pointing out in a pigeon-toed manner, and the front of the ankle is touching the ground. Now my right ankle has come back towards that left ankle. Now I'm going to press out, pressing my right ankle outwards away from my left ankle so that that front of that right ankle touches the ground. Then I'm going to release, so my ankle and my heel travel towards the left. Then I'm going to press out again. So this is an internal rotation of the lower leg. And as you do this, what's going to happen is you might even feel some activity in the front of your hips. Because while you're in this position, what's happening is as you press that right ankle outwards, you're going to get an internal rotation of the lower leg, but it's also going to influence a slight internal rotation of the upper leg, the femur. You're going to do this for about 20 reps. Then you hold the right one out, and then you do the same thing with the left. Allow the left to come towards the right, and then press the left heel away from the right heel. So you're going into a pigeon-toed position, and that front of that ankle is going into the ground. So you press that ankle into the ground. So you're rotating that lower leg as you press it out. And do that for another 20 reps. Then that would be one set, and try to do 3 sets. All right, that's it for today's podcast episode on how lower leg stiffness can contribute to knee pain. Thank you for joining me for this episode. If you liked it, please subscribe and leave a positive review so others may find it and get help too. Check out the show notes for links on how to win a mini integrator massage gun, posture strength and mobility classes that focus on corrective exercises, or self-myofascial release protocols for neck pain, back pain, knee pain, plantar fasciitis, and much more with my massage gun, the Integrator. Until next time, keep exploring your body and stay curious.